In a land full of sentinels, who is going to be the main sentinel king that carries you to victory? Is it Killjoy, Cypher, or Chamber? Sage, what are you doing here? Get out of here. You're not even a real sentinel. Well, in today's video, we are going to be bringing you the ultimate advanced guide for Chamber, who is the ultimate sentinel king that is not only going to let you literally completely shut down a site, but also frag your A off like a duelist. So before we go any further, if you have not yet watched our basic ultimate Chamber guide, I strongly advise you guys to watch that so that way you guys fully understand all the information and, the best knowledge of information that we're going to give you in this video. Okay, so make sure you watch that video. Don't be lazy, okay? So with no further ado, let's get into the advanced ultimate Chamber guide. But before we jump to the video, guys, 80% of you guys are not yet subscribed. Please subscribe. It helps out so much with the YouTube algorithm, allowing us to keep bringing you bangers like this and for you to truly get the rank of becoming diamond and beyond. Watch the entire video, guys. Don't be an iron, okay? Okay, so getting into the video, guys, we talked about in the basic ultimate Chamber guide, basically what Chamber's role is and how he's supposed to kind of work on attack and what your job, how you can be impactful for your team. But guys, in the advanced ultimate Chamber guide, we're not gonna just tell you the basic stuff because you already know the basic stuff since you already watched that video. We're gonna be strictly telling you the advanced stuff. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is, as a Chamber player, you have to understand that your Headhunter is literally going to be your primary weapon that you use the majority of times. Obviously not on your buy rounds. The reason why I say this is because if your team is determining whether to save or buy and you are pretty much the only one who can't fully buy on your team, your economy as the Chamber main does not matter because you literally have an incredibly, insanely powerful weapon at your disposal that no other player has. So never make your team save because you don't have enough funds to buy. As long as you have 8 rounds in your Sheriff and your Headhunter ability and you have like light shields or heavy armor, then you're good to go and your team can fully buy. So by choosing Chamber over any other sentinels, you already give your team that advantage that, hey, you don't have to surround your economy around you. You only have to surround around the 4 other players because technically you are always going to have a deadly kit, basically allowing you guys to turn your save rounds or eco rounds into round wins. You guys really need to be taking advantage of Chamber as he can literally totally flip the scale of your games. One other thing to note when playing Chambers is, yeah, it is important to cover your flanks, but you guys also have to understand that you guys do have the capability of being the second entry because you guys do have a basically fast get out of jail free card with your teleporting ability, which we'll get into later on. But you guys need to be able to know when to turn on the aggressive switch, when to not turn on the aggressive switch. You guys need to know when is a good time to lurk, when is not a good time to lurk. If you guys are just doing the same thing every single round, you guys are becoming predictable, you guys are gonna get completely shut down. But if you guys are kind of like changing up the way you play, doing different things here and there, okay, let's say you want to kind of like lurk this round. Well, you should never really lurk in the same place all the time. You always want to change at least one thing up just to kind of keep the enemy on their toes. This is how you pretty much avoid of being predictable to your enemies. So to try to get a sense as to how the enemy plays, what I would recommend as Chamber is that you should really start off by being really aggressive early on in the game just to kind of like figure out if the enemies can handle your aggression or if they're just like kind of completely shutting you down, or if you're just like kind of like tumbling them and you can lurk easy and get a kill every single time. The reason why you want to do this early on in the game is because you want to get this information early. You want to know what you can get away with early on. If they're shutting you down, great. Now you know, hey, lurking is not working. Let me go and stick with my team and let me try lurking later on once I have not lurked for a few rounds and they're not going to expect it. Always stay adaptive, guys. Never do the same thing. All right, so now that you understand a little bit of Chamber's role a little more, we're going to go ahead and get into the teleporting ability now. So back in the basic ultimate Chamber guide, we talked about where your positioning of your teleporter beacons should be and like kind of like how they work and how to use them. Well, in this guide, in the advanced Chamber guide, we're going to be kind of talking a little bit more of the game sense side of your teleporting ability. So as you know, your teleporting beacon is basically a get out of jail free card. You can go for a very early aggressive pick without really getting too punished as long as you're able to kind of teleport quickly into safety. And the only way to really kind of like master teleporting quickly is that you need to build up the muscle memory. So as long as you guys are playing Chamber basically every game and you're kind of building up the muscle memory over time, you guys are going to be able to find yourselves be able to TP and making these like nasty kills while still having smooth Chamber mechanics. So as I said earlier on in the video, you always want to start more aggressive than normal in the beginning of your games just to see what you can get away with. So in the beginning of all your games, what I would do as chamber is place your TP for an aggressive peek. See if you can get one kill early in the game to secure those early round wins. When you are going for these aggressive peeks, guys, it's important to stay disciplined. Only go for 1 or 2 shots. Do not stay any longer because you will die. Being able to master chamber's teleporting ability takes a huge discipline, and you have to make sure that you're not letting yourself be greedy, or else you're literally gonna die. So to basically give you guys an example, when I'm playing chamber on ascent on A bomb site, I'm gonna be peeking A main, tucking to the most left wall, so that way I can kind of throw off the enemy's crosshair. As chamber, you really want to take advantage of these off angles, so that way you can have that extra millisecond to secure that kill that you need to get. So as I said before, only shoot 1 to 2 shots and then immediately TP. Doesn't matter if you got the kill or not. Just get out of there. Now, obviously, you want your second beacon to be placed in a safe spot. Now, if you do have teammates on the site with you, you can have that safe TP beacon on the bomb site itself, so that way you just TP back onto site and stay on site with that extra teammate that's with you. Or if you have no other teammates directly on the bomb site with you, then you should have that TP beacon that is placed safely outside of the bomb site, so that way when the enemy team is kind of pushing you, you're not kind of like trapped in bomb site and you're screwed and you're gonna die either way. It's always better to go for 5v5 retakes than making your team retake bomb site through a 5v4 situation because you died. Now, of course, guys, you don't want to be predictable, so do not do this all the time, okay? Once you have gone for a few aggressive peaks and they have been working, try to take your foot off the gas for a little bit and peek other areas of the map, or just don't peek at all and just kind of play a little passively, just to mess with the enemy's kind of thought process and just to make you more of a harder to read player. Now, I'm going to get into really quickly how to fake TP and when to use your fake TPs. So basically, you want to place your TP beacons down, one on one location, the other one on the next location. Now, in order to perform the fake TP mechanic, which is basically going to make the teleporting sound, making it seem like you have teleported away to the enemy, but in reality, it just cancels your teleport animation, so you stay in the same exact place to where you fake teleported from. And the way you do this is that you want to look at the TP beacon that you are pretending to teleport to. You then want to press at the same time the button that you use to teleport and the button that you use to pick up your teleports. So for me, the button I use to teleport is Q, and the button I use to pick up my teleports is F. So I want to press QF at the same time. Now, it is going to take you some practice to kind of get the timing of this, but once you master this mechanic, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to get away with a lot of crazy plays. You never want to fake TP when you're getting rushed or enemies are rushing you on site. Fake TPing is mainly good for 1v2 situations or 1v1 situations. Basically, any situation that you're put in a position to where you have to clutch or kind of like win a 1v2 or 1v1 situation for your team. The reason for this is because fake TP is best used for high stress situations. And what are the most high stressful situations? Well, basically 1v1s and 1v2s. All right, so now let's get into Chamber's amazing Headhunter ability, which is basically his pocket sniper, which is insane. Now, you guys already learned the basics of it, all the stats of it from our basics ultimate chamber guide. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit more advice on how to properly use this weapon and how to perfect this weapon. So because this weapon is mainly best used for tapping heads, unless if you're using it for pistol round, then you can go for body shots, but honestly, going for the head will secure you the kill the fastest. So because of this, you really want to get used to ADSing with his Headhunter ability. If you take a look at the way Optic Ye uses chamber, you notice every single time he basically uses his Headhunter ability, he's almost always ADSing unless the person is directly right in front of his face. Since there is no bullet drop off to this, you really can use this ability at any and all ranges. The only difference is whenever something is close range, you want to not ADS, and whenever something is about 15 meters away or more, you want to ADS with this ability. So something that I like to do is what I'll do for my crosshair when I'm ADS with the Headhunter ability is that I'll actually put a dot so that way I'm more precise, because honestly, the dot crosshair is one of the best crosshairs to use to tap heads. Another thing that you guys really want to master is the mechanic of quickly switching to your Headhunter whenever you miss your rounds or miss a shot or whatever, right? So let's say you're opping and you either get an op kill and two people swing out once, you get one op kill and then there's another enemy shooting at you. Well, you need to master that mechanic of quickly switching to your Headhunter to quickly secure that other kill, since the pullout animation is basically non-existent when you want to shoot your weapon, so it's kind of immediately accurate as soon as you pull it out. And the way you do this is basically, if you're shooting, literally just click your Headhunter button and then boom, it pops out, and then you want to immediately ADS or not even ADS and just shoot at the head. You really want to master master this mechanic because this is not something you want to really think about. This is just something you want to have like to do instinctively. You want it to be muscle memory and second nature, so that way your brain just automatically does it without you really having to think about it. Because if you have to think about it, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to hesitate and you're not going to be able to kill the enemy in time. Chamber's a really heavy agent when it comes to building muscle memory around his utility usage, because you need to be able to use the utility without hesitation. So if you guys are using Chamber's Headhunter ability to clear angles, this is what you want to do. So you know the mechanic of shift peeking, to when you are holding shift and then right before you're about to expose yourself to the angle that you're peeking, you let go of shift to launch your body? Well, you kind of want to do the same thing with the Headhunter. If you guys notice, with the Headhunter, if you guys are not ADS'd, you move a lot faster compared to if you are ADS'd. For example, take a look at these footsteps when we're ADS'd compared to when we're not ADS'd. As you guys were able to hear, you're able to take more footsteps in less time compared to if you were ADS'd. So you kind of want to use this mechanic when you're peeking corners. When you're peeking into an angle, you want to make sure that you're not ADS'd. But just as soon as you swing into the angle, you want to quickly ADS right before you shoot, just to make sure you can give yourself that extra accuracy. Because if you ADS and then shoot immediately, you're directly accurate. It's not like the operator, like if you're still in scope animation, so where your bullet may be inaccurate. If you're still in scope animation with the Headhunter, you're dead accurate. So use it. Now that you guys have mastered the Headhunter with our advanced knowledge and tips, we can now get into the Tripwire ability. Now, the main thing I need to emphasize to you guys is you guys need to prioritize your Tripwire placement. Here is the rule of thumb when using Chamber's Tripwires. The deeper you put your trip in the corner, the less likely it's going to be shot in time in order to properly detonate, trapping the enemy. So stop putting your Tripwires in the middle of the open or right beside a door frame, not being deep enough into a corner, because you're not getting the full value out of your Tripwires. And also stop placing your trips in the same exact location every single round. Switch it up, guys. Be creative. You can really put these things anywhere, and they have a huge radius to where they're going to be able to trick or trap an enemy entering the access point that you're trying to shut off. Also, don't always feel like you have to put both of your Tripwires down. You can put one down and then hold on to the other one, but only if you know you can do this. If the enemy team is kind of like lurking up through the map at different access points, then yeah, you're going to want to place both down to cover the majority of the map. But if you notice that they're kind of huddled together and pushing as a team, you really don't have to kind of put them in another location, where you could just hold on to the second one and use it later on in the round. So because there's not really too much advanced knowledge you guys really need to know with the Tripwires, it's just knowing where to place your Tripwires and where not to place your Tripwires. Here's an example of a good Tripwire placement. Now, here's an example of a very bad Tripwire placement. You see the difference? The deeper your Tripwires are in corners, the more likely they are to trigger, allowing your enemy to stay stuck into your trap. All right, so now we're gonna get into the advanced knowledge with Chamber's ultimate ability. Now, the first thing I want to start off by saying is, guys, if you guys are in the middle of a gunfight and you run out of ammo in your primary weapon, and you freak out and panic and you decide to pull out your ultimate, well, the pullout animation for that is incredibly long. So make sure to only pull out your ultimate when you're in a safe location where you have time to go through the pullout animation, or in the beginning of the round before the round even starts. But do be aware, whenever you decide to pull out your ultimate, it is announced to the entire lobby. So the enemy team is going to hear you, just like how every other ultimate ability. People are going to know if you have it equipped. Now, with this ultimate ability, you're able to kind of like be a little bit more of an aggressive opper, because again, your rendezvous ability and also with the rate of fire with this weapon is unbelievably fast. You are definitely going to be able to get this first shot off if you're going one-on-one against another opper, because your sniper shoots faster than theirs. So what is the most important thing with this ultimate ability? Well, the most important thing is having steady aim and good crosshair placement. Guys, no matter where you shoot someone with this weapon, you are always going to kill them. No matter if you shoot them in the leg, in the chest, or in the head, it's always a one-shot kill, unless if you're just unlucky and you shoot them through the wall. But with keeping this in mind, be sure to always aim towards the torso area, because that is the widest area on the character models, and make sure you give yourself enough time to be able to react a swinging enemy. So you don't want to keep your crosshair too close to the angle that you're holding, because if they swing out and you have to kind of like allow your crosshair to chase the enemy, you're already at a disadvantage. It's best to let the enemy come into your crosshair and then close the space rather than you play catch up and chasing the enemy. You only want to use your ultimate ability when you guys are on bonus save rounds and you really need to turn the outcome of the game around in order to kind of put your team team into the advantage to have the weapons. Or if your entire team can buy and you're the only person that cannot buy, well, you can just use your ultimate as your primary weapon. Or guys, if one of your teammates cannot buy and then the rest of your team can buy and so can you, then you want to buy that teammate and just use your Headhunter and your ultimate ability. Either way, guys, you guys are mainly going to be using Chamber's utility to try to get your kills and really allowing your team to take advantage of the free money that you're able to give them. So as Chamber mains, we aren't selfish, we're giving. Now, when using this ultimate ability, guys, don't forget about the quickly switching to your Headhunter. By abusing this mechanic with your ultimate, dude, I'm telling you, you're unstoppable. To be honest, these are honestly the only weapons you really need to use as Chamber because these weapons are insanely overpowered and yeah, you're gonna kill your lobbies with this. All right, guys, well, that does bring us to the end of our advanced ultimate Chamber guide. Now, guys, hope you did find this video to be helpful. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn post notifications on so you guys are notified for more bangers like this in the future. And if you guys did make it to the end of the video, you will reach your rank of becoming Diamond Beyond. ProSense will soon be the #1 training platform to develop immortal level players, and with your guys' help, we will be able to do just that, guys. And we're trying to hit 10K, road to 10K. It's been your boy Sando. I love you guys, and we're getting into a new season, guys. Hope you guys are able to finish the act strong, and I love you guys. See you later.